Phi công lái máy bay quá tốc độ có bị phạt không? 180. Dài chia video. Phi công sẽ bị xử lý tùy trường hợp bay quá tốc độ, nhưng đa số là vô ý, nhất thời và không gây nguy hiểm cho hành khách.
Pilots are some of the most compliant, rule-abiding people while they're at work. A respect for rules is tantamount to a respect for the safety culture that the airline industry has built. Being negligent of company procedures or regulatory standards comes with potentially severe penalties that pilots do everything possible to avoid. With this in mind, let's talk about what happens if pilots fly too fast. It was much harder for ATC and airlines to know exactly how fast pilots flew airliners not so long ago. These days, modern airliners and other technologically advanced planes have transponders that communicate call sign, aircraft, altitude, and airspeed information. Before this, primary radar communicated only a plane's ground speed based on simple time/distance displacement. Ground speed is easily affected by winds aloft, so a plane breaking the 250 knot speed limit under 10,000 feet would be difficult to detect. Modern flight data monitoring systems relay information commonly referred to as FOQA or Flight Operations Quality Assurance. This is instantly downloadable by operators and actively reports deviations from regulatory, company or manufacturer-imposed limitations. Not only is speed below 10,000 feet measured, but structural, tire and flap overspeeds are constantly monitored for parameter exceedances. If the flight data monitor records an overspeed value, the relevant data is pushed to the airline safety or flight standards department. At least in the US, pilots also have the ability to fill out deviation reports, commonly referred to as ASAPs or Aviation Safety Action Program. The FAA collects this pilot-reported data and uses it to address recurring trends or perceived lapses in safety systems. Self-disclosing mistakes is an important element of being a professional pilot. Pilots who violate speed restrictions almost never intend to do so. Most overspeeds are momentary and don't come anywhere near putting the plane or passengers at risk of harm. Flap overspeeds generally occur from unforeseen turbulence or wind shear with the flaps extended, and the same is true for structural overspeeds at altitude. Another reason for an overspeed might be the pilot flying using a different flight path mode on the autopilot than the one they intended, resulting in the speed not being checked or a higher rate of descent than desired. This happens as a result of task saturation or not checking the mode annunciator. Simply put, human errors happen. When they do, modern airliners inform the companies of these events. Importantly, the common reasons for flying too fast are unintentional. Willful negligence, on the other hand, is an intentional deviation from rules and regulations or flying in a manner generally deemed unsafe. For instance, flying right at the high-speed buffet boundary at 40,000 feet on a turbulent day would likely be considered willfully negligent. 99% of overspeeds are not of this sort, and most pilots willingly report their mistakes to the company via dedicated reporting systems in an effort to be transparent. Now to answer the big question, what happens to pilots who speed? More often than not, the pilot will have a phone call with their managing pilot and a union representative. If the event was unintentional, that's generally the end of it, assuming they made the requisite self-disclosures and were forthcoming with information. Pilots whose exceedances are more significant but still deemed unintentional are removed from line flying and sent for retraining in ground and simulator sessions. These pilots focus on the maneuver characteristics of the events leading to their overspeed event, such as a hurried or unanticipated go-around. Pilots who are found to be willfully negligent face further discipline. Thus, fines and speeding tickets as we know them for automobile travel aren't exactly imposed for pilots flying too fast. However, certain infractions can lead to procedures that might just end up costing the pilot their time and indirectly their earnings. Did you know about this aspect of piloting? share your thoughts by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.